Your transition from high school to life after high school is a time of change and possibility. Transition of Youth with Disabilities is a focus of the Protection and Advocacy of Beneficiaries of Social Security, or PABS program. The purpose of PABS is to help beneficiaries with working and overcoming employment barriers. This video highlights the stories of 4 youth and their transition experiences. Through these stories, you will learn about opportunities and resources available as you prepare to enter the world of transition.
Under IDEA, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, transition really is a process to help the student achieve goals to move from school to post-school activities.
My name is Sean.
Sean started very early. In kindergarten, we started writing a vision statement. And then as he got older and he could articulate more, then the vision became his. So eventually he met with adult service provider, and Sean made a plan. He said, I want to attend graduation, I want to go to the prom, I want to go to Lehigh University.
I go to Lehigh University. I picked my classes.
As far as integrating him into Lehigh's community, we set up various sites where he is right now volunteering. One is at the Taylor Gym and at the Fairchild Library.
Hi.
He talks with a Dynavox, and he uses it a lot more over the past few months. He'll use it to basically hold full conversations, saying hello, how are you, telling people about how his day was.
It's really rewarding to see him progressing and seeing him be more independent and advocating for himself.
How are you?
I'm just fine.
The best part of supporting Sean so far in his transition is just seeing him be able to interact with peers who don't have disabilities. Also just seeing that he really likes his jobs. When he's at the gym or he's at the library, he's smiling, so it really shows his confidence.
Adam works at Wawa. Adam had to have a lot of experience in order for him to be able to transition and generalize out into the community.
Some of the supports that we initially put in place for Adam were visual aids. We created a resume for him. We created a detailed booklet that described his work tasks for him. It also had some work rules for him. When he first started here, I would say he was probably only doing about 7 to 8 shelves, and he's now doing up to about 80 shelves.
It took a little bit of time to find the right job for him, because just in any employment situation, you have to have the right person with the right employer.
It has to be a match. And the reason it's a match for Adam is only because A, the support of the ARC, his job coach, connections, and the boss that Adam has at Wawa.
I think it's been inspirational to my crew. They've really taken to him. They really enjoy the fact when he comes in, they all say hi to him.
I would say Adam's definitely become more independent.
And he's really become part of the team.
My name is Breanna. I work at the Georgetown Courthouse. I do data entry. Then people call, and if they have a question on their taxes, we answer the question. I've been on computers from when I was a little kid up to now, and I would still love working on computers.
It was very necessary to have that opportunity to gradually leave the world of school and move into the world of work.
I worked with the head. I worked with them when I was in high school.
Her goal was to pick a job coaching agency by fall of her senior year, and she did. We have a transitional benefits counselor who works with Social Security beneficiaries to prepare for how benefits might be impacted by competitive employment.
And then by transitioning into an office skills training program that worked on skills that she would need in an office environment.
They helped me know what kind of work I need to get done, like doing filing or copying.
Start early. Attend transition fairs, gain experience through vocational programs, experience many different types of jobs. Talk to the school about your specific goals.
If you really want to do something, and if you love it, go for it.
Play drums, trumpet, saxophone, and piano.
At this present time, Brett is working at Giant. He's been there 2 years.
I'll put some food in the bags.
With Brett, just the ability for him to be focused on a career.
Hello, Maria.
I really enjoy working with Brett because he's really friendly to the customers and he keeps everyone happy, including the employees and the customers.
But then seeing him grab a check and just the joy on his face and knowing that he actually earned his own money.
If you've watched people in their first jobs, how they grow, I think the job has given him that idea of empowerment.
I feel good and enjoy it.
I think he feels so good from within that he wants to go to work.
He has a lot more confidence. He will go into pretty much any situation and he's not afraid. He'll make sure that he can take charge of a situation.
Seek out or find out what's available.
Starting with the end in mind is more critical than anything else.
As long as you're the person driving it and you're ahead of it, you can make things happen.
Become an advocate. Never stop.
A successful transition plan can help you to achieve your dreams and gain independence. You can seek help from special education professionals at your high school and from adult service agencies. Contact the Disability Rights Network of Pennsylvania at 1-800-692-7443 or our TDD line 1-877-375-7139 or visit our website www.drnpa.org. Contact DRN and let us know how we can help you to enter the world of transition.